Howdy do, folks. Here's the old mountain man talking at you from the backside of this here lake in the hills of Arkansas. Well, today's subject is one that I pretty much find about one of the most important aspects of survival, and that's fire. Without fire, there's a lot of things you cannot do, and a lot of things that you're subject to as far as the elements, animals, and such. Oh God, my coffee's cold. And that's another thing. Who really wants to drink cold coffee? I mean, really, that just sucks. Yeah, and I've got a cigarette lighter here with me, and I could go on and fix that little problem with the coffee, and just by lighting my Coleman one burner stove with the cigarette lighter. But got me a ferro rod here. I just took this one brand new right out of my supply, and the striker is one of the most important things. Now, I took that striker off because I really don't like these stock strikers that come with them. To tell you the God's honest truth, I like carbon steel like in an old-timer pocket knife. Why carbon steel? Because it just works better. Now, these ferro rods, they come with a coating on them, and it keeps them from having any accidental ignition during shipping. You gotta scrape that coating off. And it's kind of thick and it's cruddy, but once you get it off of there, you can pretty well sling some good sparks with a carbon steel blade. And I'm gonna bring this stove up here, turn on the gas, and poof, there you have it. If you don't have any matches during a crap hit the fan situation, you got a ferro rod, you got flame. If you got fuel, you got flame. And speaking of fuel, I've got another little demonstration here. Some cotton, which I grew myself. And yeah, I grow my own cotton because, you know, you can use it for fire starter tinder, you can use it as is, dry, or you can add some petroleum jelly. Now, when you add petroleum jelly, that gives you a burn time probably 5 to 8 times greater, and it gives you time to get your, what you really want to do is have all your small sticks, little toothpick type sticks. Them damn crows, I'm about ready to kill me a crow and have one for supper, basted in butter and garlic. They ain't bad. But at any rate, your burn time is 5 to 8 times greater with this cotton having just a little dab of petroleum jelly, and you can get some petroleum jelly, or more commonly known as Vaseline, at the Dollar Tree. $1 for a 4-ounce bottle, and this will last you forever if all you use it for is doctoring up your fire starter tinder. You can use dryer lint, you can use wood shavings, you can use any type of oil, 3-in-1 oil on a piece of dryer lint, give you a great burn time, and have your materials gathered up. Toothpick sized pieces of wood, and then on up to bigger and bigger and bigger. And you know, see, I'm gonna do a little demo here. I'm gonna light this up, and let's see here, bring that down a little bit. Let's see, and do a little MacGyver type improvising here. think I'll use this black piece of material. This is the back side off of a fan, off an old fan that I scrapped out. And let's see here, that's not going to throw a bad enough flame to where it's going to be any danger of setting off this propane stove, otherwise it wouldn't be done. Alright, how about this? Take that there ferro rod and press it down into the cotton. There it goes. Oops, stuck to it. Well, let's see how long that'll burn with that petroleum jelly on there. By now, I would already have some small sticks piled up around this, making a little box type frame, and build it up, you know, like a little old, like a miniature log cabin or something. And then get it built up, and those flames are going to naturally reach for the fuel, just like in any forest fire that you've ever seen that's jumped here and jumped there. And you know the importance of fire. What you got? What's your basic needs for fire? The fire supplies. That would be, let's see, you got to kind of stir this up a little bit. Get that cotton out of that hole. Kind of got stuff down in there. But that burn time is dramatically increased by that petroleum jelly. A lot. You know, by now I could have a real decent fire built. And if you want to keep it going, you got to feed it. Yeah, just take some of that petroleum jelly, put it right there on the edge, and that fire will reach for it, melt it, and those ashes will act like a wick. You can do the same thing with food grease, any type of grease. Food grease, petroleum grade lubricants or whatever. You can just keep it going and going and going. Put a little Vaseline or whatever on your tinder, on your fire building materials. You know, and as I was saying before, oops, there goes my coffee. It's got past hot. Whoa, those handles are hot. Wow. Yeah, like I should have known that right now. I do that all the time anyhow. But fire will serve to sterilize your water, sterilize and get water boiling to sterilize medical instruments. It'll keep animals out of your camp. You can cook your food, of course, you know, all the obvious things. And there's just something about having a fire. Sitting around, you know, you're sitting around a fire, you're in a survival situation, or you're just out camping or what have you. And you got this fire going, and that one back there, it's still going. All right, and it's going, yeah, going a little bit better than what I, you can see that easy enough. You know, that's, the burn time on that cotton is pretty dang good. But you get out there and you get a fire built, and it tends to help you de-stress. You can just sit there and look at the fire. You're able to think of what you need to do next. Do I want to build a shelter? Do I want to gather food? Do I want to do this? You know, you can think of all those things that you need to do. And, I'm a woodsman. I've been at this a long time. I'm not a bushcrafter. I've been, kind of referred to or acquainted with bushcrafting, but I didn't even know what the heck a bushcrafter was before I came to YouTube. I see these Altoid survival tins, and that's one thing I don't have, and I never will have. If I'm going to go out in the woods with a minimal amount of gear, I'm just going to take a pocket knife. Now, I can find a piece of flint, and I can shave off some, I can get myself some fat wood and get me a fire going like that. It's going to take a while. Then again, I might whip up a bow drill, but I'm not real good at that. I'll confess to things I'm not good at. And bow drills are not one of them, but, worst comes to worst, I'd try it. But I'm, not really going to waste my time, because I'm not good at it. I'm just not good at it. And I got these for sale for 15 bucks a piece. I'll put all the info down in the description. I generally ask for a postal money order because they are federally insured. You fill out your stub, the stub that's on the money order with all the pertinent information. Send it to me for the price of the goods that you want to buy, whether it's 1, 2, 5, 6, or whatever. And the only ones I have now are the orange handle ones. I'm sold out of the little red handle ones. And I was going broke selling those things. I had them priced way too low. The postage was costing me too much. At the end of the day, I was probably making $1.50 pure profit, and then having to restock, not worth it. So I'm just not selling the little ones anymore. Just don't have them, and I can't afford to sell them. And besides, my suppliers done raised the tacked on shipping for me, and for anybody that orders from that particular person. And that sucks. But I'm going to go with a different seller, with a different supplier, because the one I've been dealing with is getting too high-handed and high and mighty and just being a pain in the butt. But anyway, when you got a fire, these are not only for bushcrafters, but for anyone interested in or may feel the need for a real good shit hit the fan tool. These are made from metal. Take a look at my I'll just copy the information on what these are made out of. They're made out of earth metals. They're all combined together, put in a high compression chamber, and the ferro rod is formed. And you got the orange plastic handle. Should you ever drop it, lose it out of your pack, heaven forbid you lose it out of your pack, you'll be able to backtrack and find it by seeing that orange handle laying in the brown leaves out there. I hope YouTube gives me a good upload time on this. Last time it was something like almost a little over an hour for a 15-minute upload. Hopefully they do better for me this time. But that pretty well covers the whole fire aspect of it. And, fire is a valuable tool. Very valuable. Makes a wicked master, though. You don't want to let it get out. And if you're into stealth fires with no smoke, use an alcohol stove. Spark up a piece of cotton ball, toss it in your alcohol stove, or get it right up there on it, and hold your striker down there and pull your ferro rod. Sitting there scraping on it, you're taking a chance on sitting there and wearing away at your tool. Now you can press it in like I did that cotton ball, and it's already burned out. It's been burned out for a few minutes probably. I hadn't even noticed. But putting your ferro rod down there on your Tinder and scraping into it. You can do it that way, or you can put that striker down there put the striker down there close to your Tinder and pull the ferro rod back. It's called I call them ferro rod for short. It's Ferrocerium. And Ferrocerium, as I said before, is a combination of earth metals used to make a spark. They're used in Bic cigarette lighters, they're used in clockwork toys, they're used in all kinds of things. And what it will be doing in a clockwork toy, I don't know. But at any rate, one of these has saved my backside more than once, and I even found it necessary to light a cigarette with it. Well, with it and a piece of char cloth. Now I left my cigarette lighter at home, and the only thing I carried at that time was Zippo. I left my Zippo at home, and here I was with my ferro rod, and I found a piece of char cloth setting off in a little tin, and a little pack that I got. Sparked it up, stuck it that little piece of char cloth to my cigarette, lit it right up. And from there I could use that hot coal off that cigarette, toss it off in a ball of dry leaves, start blowing on that, give it a few breaths, and get it blazed right up. Get myself a fire going. Just with a coal off a cigarette. I've done it before. I've taken cold coals from a dead fire, bunched them up, take the fire off a cigarette, knock it off onto those coals, and just start huffing and puffing, and get those coals going, and work from there and build it on up. There's so many other ways to start a fire without a dang cigarette lighter or matches. I've recently, and speaking of fire and heat and what have you, I scrapped out the element and the electrical system out of a small mini hot water tank, which I use a 4-gallon hot water tank in this little old camping trailer. I wish I had a 30-gallon tank. It'd be sweet to have a tub full of hot water to crawl in, sit in there and like, soak those sore muscles. And yes, guys, you can soak in a tub of hot water and still be a man. Yeah. God knows I've done it plenty of times whenever I was working. My muscles were all knotted up and hurting. It ain't gonna kill you. It ain't gonna endanger your masculinity. Unless you're some kind of little fruitcake or something and you're already a prissy sissy. And you see these earrings hanging in my ears. You're probably thinking funny things about that too. Get it out your head. I like girls. And there I go, skewing off into a different subject. But, masculinity, that's the big thing. I was told a couple of times, despite the earrings, that I'm too masculine. I go, what? Too masculine? So what's that woman like to do? Whip her fellers down to where they little cowering wimps at her feet or something? Well, I'm going to get off that subject. Survival. You get out there in the woods and you think you're going to feast on deer every day and wild hog and rabbit and squirrel. I can tell you the majority of your food is going to be bugs and earthworms and grubs of various different kinds. You're not going to feed like a king out there in the woods. Not even me. Not even me. If you're squeamish about eating bugs, you're probably gonna die. Lizards, snakes, turtles, slugs, earthworms, scorpions, grasshoppers. You gotta be careful about them grasshoppers. Pull the head off. They've been known to carry tapeworm eggs. Hey, over here, come on, buddy. Ain't that right, little bear? We eat fried grasshoppers sometimes. That's right. Fried grasshoppers, fried scorpions. You don't want to fry an earthworm, though. You just want to swallow them right down. Don't chew them up. Don't try to be like Bear Grylls. I would suggest, if there aren't earthworms big enough, split them open, wash them out, and boil them. But you got to wash all that slime off first, and it is quite a chore to wash slime off of earthworm. That's their tool for sliding through the ground real easy. This is just one and many of a series of survival videos with tips and suggestions for those who don't know. And since this video, quit pressing into my legs, stupid. You wouldn't choke yourself. I love that dog, but he's silly as batshit sometimes. He wants to get as close to me as possible and get all my attention no matter what I'm doing. If I got a girlfriend, he's right up there under her. Well, I'm here now. You can pet me. You can pay attention to me instead of him. Yeah. Try to give me competition for it, Ed. Yeah, and he does very well, just being his adorable self. Knucklehead. Oh, God. At any rate, folks, this video has gone up 22 minutes, a little over. And for now, this is the Old Mountain Man signing off from the backside of this here lake in the hills of Arkansas. Y'all take care. And we'll see y'all later. Adios for now. Oh, and be careful of those wolves in sheep's clothing out there that'll try to deceive you and try to pull wool over your eyes. You might want to try to use that wool for fire starters or set their butts on fire. Another helpful suggestion for keeping trouble away with fire. Later, folks.